and Parker.
Yeah.
Once again, real alien talk, no bullshit. This is week 4.
Right? Week 4?
1 month of real alien talk. We're calling this one going live with a question mark because we're not quite sure how this technology is going to work out.
Yeah, it's kind of experimental phase, so to say.
Right. My whole life has been an experimental phase.
Oh yeah, man.
But we're not the most technologically savvy people, but hopefully our producer's going to walk us through it. You can go to, we're taking live, what would you call that? A live chat. If you can join the chat page and send us questions, it's going to be Spreaker.com/user/RockstarPro channel. Now, if you don't put the user in there, it's just going to fuck everything up. You'll probably get like a virus on your computer and like it'll start steaming and
monkeys will get smarter and take over the world.
Right.
They can also go to Spreaker.com and search Rockstar Pro podcast.
Right. You ever found a monkey's paw and like made 3 wishes?
Oh, I mean, there's a good chance I might have seen like a monkey paw, but I don't know.
So you never took the
great
jump.
Wishes.
You never took the jump to make the 3 wishes because the deal is you'll get the 3 wishes you want, but like any deal with like the devil or whatever,
yeah, it's like
end up
making
getting
a deal
fucked up, right? So you'll get what you want, but then something terrible happens.
One of the wishes which you are granted becomes like gluttony in a sense.
Right. So if you said, I wanted like to eat well forever, you'd eat like fucking for 2 weeks straight, and you just like fucking explode.
Exactly.
That's how that would work.
Or I want to live forever, then everyone you love or care about this like dies the next day.
Right. So then you're like, well, I'm stuck here with fucking nobody.
Yeah.
But let's see. We've had Todd. I believe Todd Schroeder is going to be joining us pretty soon. But he keeps asking a question that he wants to have us address is about the Apollo 20 mission. Do you know a little bit about that?
I'm really not that familiar with it, man.
From what I know, okay, here's what I know.
Or maybe just forgot.
Yeah, Apollo 18, 19, and 20 were officially canceled to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, Apollo or no, like I think a lot of there's obviously been space missions that we have no awareness of.
There has to be, man.
Just like someone has cloned another human being. We're not aware of it. You know what I mean?
Supposedly we have like the government has a fleet of UFO type vehicles that
I'm sure they do
glide around. So
I would say probably 90% of alien sightings are most likely from our own government.
That's what I think too.
We don't have the awareness of this technology.
I believe from just a lot of things I've read or looked at and things you just got to rationalize in your own head sometimes. Is I really think the majority of what UFO, and keep in mind what UFO doesn't mean spaceship, it means unidentified flying object.
Right.
So anytime you look up and go, what the hell is that? That's a UFO, then you don't know what the hell it is.
Right.
Simple fact, that's what it is. It's just the media and other things that cloud with the actual meaning of the definition of what it is.
Right.
Now,
last week we had real Alf talk.
Mm-hmm.
Refresh me on the first episode. Did it show Alf actually crashing?
Yeah, he crashed into the garage. He crashed into Willie's garage.
What was his ship like?
They don't ever really show much of it. It's just like lights and like a open like plastic half ball thing that like Alf's like sticking his head through, like kind of like a kid's playland.
Are we actually live?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hit the chat button.
Okay, yeah. On Rockstar, Spreaker.com/user/Rockstar Pro channel. If you go there right now and you hit the chat button, is that correct?
Yes.
They'll be able to join us in the chat, and we'll get questions. You can ask us anything you want. If you got some more Alf questions from last week.
Yeah, or anything random stuff.
It's at the bottom of the page and kind of looks like a question bubble.
Yeah, that's the link straight to me and Ben. If you have a question for us, you hit that question bubble. We're gonna get it. Now, did Willie ever try to like reverse engineer the spaceship?
No, but I think they did the whole walkie-talkie system because he was all about like the.
Right.
That's how Alf even communicate with the other people, which is really surprising. Like it's a walkie-talkie, and the government just wonders like they can't monitor his walkie-talkie station and see.
Well, maybe back in that era, it was early '80s. I mean, maybe the government, spying, however you want to say it, wasn't quite as. Or like, but they probably would have known Alf landed.
Or they couldn't get as like liberty with like personal space, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays the government has a lot of room and basically kicking your door in and checking shit out.
9/11, which many people believe was engineered to have us lose a lot of liberties.
Yeah.
Anyway, to give this a local spin, a lot of people say reverse engineering may have began with the ship from Roswell, which was transported to, most people believe, Hangar 18, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And what do you think about that?
I mean, I think, like, it probably wasn't the first, but I think it's one of the most important as far as, like, technology. I really believe, and how I believe this, it's not like I'm just imagining this. I read a lot and listen to a lot of podcasts and different documentaries and, just resource work and just seeing some shit by my chance from my traveling because I've seen a bunch of wacky shit. Mm-hmm. I think that's where America kind of gained control of being the most information. Mm-hmm. And as far as high as, like, technology in which they were gathering from the UFO. That's why I think in the long runs, I think America is one of the more secretive countries of unidentified flying object because we have the most we've gained from it that we just don't want other people to know, other governments or whatever,
I would say America's probably gained the most from this type of research, you would say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, cell phones. Cell phones is supposed to be a derogative of reverse engineering from
Right.
Roswell, basically.
Do you know, when we hold our cell phone, you think it's this big technological digital age thing, and one of the key components for cell phones is, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's some kind of mineral from the Congo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I've never heard this until very recently. It just seems very, a juxtaposition that is so digital and high tech, mm-hmm. and it's, a key components from, a supposed primitive land.
Right? And even like Wi-Fi, like, computer Wi-Fi, whatever, that's supposed to be derogative of reverse engineering from Area 51, which is what a lot of people say that's where Wi-Fi, cell phone,
CDs.
Some other CDs, other radio, basically causing nets that collect radio waves and stuff like that,
Now, Ben, you've been like all over the world. You've
Literally.
had all kinds of fucking crazy stories.
Yeah.
This is how me and you really connected, because you'll throw out one line of a crazy fucking story, I have to hear the rest of it.
All right, sometimes I just forget this one, but like, hey, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, man,
you're the guy that has a story about everything.
Yeah,
you could literally throw out any random 2 words, and you'd be like, oh yeah, man, let me tell you about this.
Literally, I can't wait till I'm really old and have kids, and let me tell you what.
You will be an excellent crazy old man, I believe, one day. Crazy old hermit.
Be awesome.
You want to talk about the Cecil Hotel? Did you ever stay there?
The Cecil tour? Yes, I did once.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bad shit that's happened there. And I wanted to suggest spending the night there.
After a while of you're on tour and shit like that, you just get bored of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, I would purposely book a lot of haunted hotels. It's like Groundhog Day,
as you've said before.
Oh, it totally is. So you got to do the little things such where a lot of ribbing comes from.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that's in the wrestling community, that's so much in the entertainment community. I can sit here and tell you so many stories where we totally fucked over.
So you're just kind of blowing off some steam? And just,
we're like, hey, we're going to stay in this hotel after there's a bunch of suicides, murders, cold shit happens there.
You're of course, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, half the band's like, yeah, half the band's like, no, we don't want to go. And we're like, whatever, But times I've stayed in the Congress Hotel in Arizona, which, that's a very famous hotel. Gangsters were arrested. Some famous gangsters were shot there. Mm-hmm. It's a great hotel, legendary. I highly recommend any viewers never heard of it. The Congress Hotel in Arizona, real famous hotel there. But the Cecil Hotel is located in Los Angeles. I believe they changed the name of the place to the place on Main Street. I believe that's what it's called now. But it was built in 1927. It was considered one of the nicer hotels during that time period, but as time went on, it kind of got a little more...
shit got weird?
Yeah, shit got weird, decrepit.
So it wasn't upkept.
Big drug use, gambling. I mean, dude, it's really well known.
Especially kind of been in the news recently as that case of what was her name?
Elisa Lam.
Yeah, I believe we talked about her.
In 2013. She's 20 years old. She is from Canada. She came here. She stayed at that hotel, and a lot of people can YouTube her name on. Her name is Elisa Lam, ELISA LAM. It's the footage of the woman in the hotel looks like she's like talking to a ghost or a demon or whatever it is. Something else is there that she's like talking to, and the door of the elevator stays open. It's a really interesting footage.
So everyone shared this video recently, and it's gone around like in the last couple of years. And the hotel this happened at was the Cecil Hotel, which kind of has a history of a lot of weird shit happening. I don't think really people have brought up all the shit that happened there previously. They've just seen this kind of viral video of this girl acting really weird and all this shit. And we're going to kind of go into the history of, exactly what's happened at this hotel that makes it so notable.
And keep in mind, once you see the footage, they had an autopsy done on her after they found her body. It took, I think it was like a month to 2 months later, they found her body. She just disappeared, and they found her in the water tower up on the roof. And they literally, there's an alarm on the door that goes out to that. For her body to be taken out, not be too graphic, but no one knew she was in this thing until literally a lot of residents were saying their water was tasting weird and black goo was coming through the water also.
So they had to go inspect the water system. They checked out the water
system, and they had to literally cut a hole out of the tank to get her out. And a lot of people say also this story is where they got kind of the movie Dark Water from also.
Mm-hmm. She actually going in the water tower, she got in, pulled it back on herself.
Yeah.
So it was a suicide. It was she was apparently something was troubling her in this elevator that we don't know what it was. You can just have your assumptions, but whatever it was, she was drawn to this water tower at the top of the hotel, drew it back on herself to close herself in there, and no one knew, like you said, until people started saying our water tastes funny.
Oh, and there's black stuff in the water being sprayed on us, But like I said, this hotel's been, in my opinion, notorious for weird stuff. During the 50s and 60s, the Cecil Hotel was known as the suicide hotspot.
Right.
Like a ton of suicides happened from this at this place, and also in, for example, 1984 to 1985, a certain gentleman known as Richard Ramirez.
I believe I've heard of him.
Lived on the top floor. Committed, they say, up to 3 murders just in that time period.
So in his killing spree, how many people did he kill?
I believe it was like 5 or 6. It could be more than that. I'd have to refresh myself in the case, but I know there was at least 3 murders there, which is kind of
Is this? I was gonna say, was it kind of the beginning of his what would you call it, killing career? Did it start off at this hotel?
No, it was like in the middle. It was in the mid period of it.
So it wasn't something at this hotel that kind of drove him over the edge?
Yeah. And also for example, in 1991, an Austrian serial killer who was trying to mimic Richard Ramirez, and I'm really going to butcher this guy's last name, but his name is Jack Unterwegen, Unterwegan. He also committed 3 murders there, and copying Ramirez, which is interesting. People talk about the whole demonic thing and energy and spiritual stuff. Well, a lot of people, like the Trinity, the knockoff. If you hear a spirit, like the 3 knocks, that's a sign of Trinity demons. Here you have 2 people who kill 3 people.
Right. I definitely believe certain sites, like we said before, with certain traumas that happen,
or energy, or just
carry
like
on.
It's some type of gate for
the
energy.
Negative energy is built up there. It can affect other people, like it did the girl recently. It's like a haunted house or whatever. Like you say, ghosts can inhabit there too. Also, this negative energy that can affect people living now.
Yeah,
that just drove her fucking mad. Whatever.
But is it like certain places too? Places like I said, for example, like that. There's been over probably about 30, 40 deaths in this one building. That what little research I did in the building found. Not to mention now it's basically like a rain down drug fucking hotel place, and they had to change the name of the place because it got so notorious for death.
Right. Now, what was I going to say? We never actually answered the Apollo 20 question, did we? From Josh
I don't know that much about it.
Right. Okay, I did do a little bit of research on it.
Okay.
Like I said, 18, 19, and 20 were officially canceled by NASA. With
what do you say, like weather or some malfunction?
Actually, budget concerns.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have the budgets.
Now the government's worried about the budget.
Right. Well,
we don't have.
I believe this was. I can't remember the exact time frame. Apollo 20 was scheduled to happen, but 18, 19, 20 ended up getting canceled for budgetary concerns. You know, you can talk about real alien talk or, you know, bullshit, whatever. Whenever something, you know, at a high level, it becomes secretive and people get curious about it, they want to, like, put their own spins on it, like...
That's what seems to come along with how more powerful they think may be or it is at that point in time.
If something is perceived to be higher than you, you naturally believe something is being held secret from you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if something's canceled for budgetary concerns, you think, well, that's bullshit. They went there anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe... there's a lot of YouTube videos. I haven't watched them too much recently, but a lot of people said that Apollo 20 was a secretive mission to retrieve alien artifacts from the moon and Mars. So they believe an alien spacecraft was brought back, ruins of an alien city, the body of a hibernating female alien.
So she was still alive. She was a hybrid.
Okay, I've seen the pictures on the web, and I might have to call bullshit on this one.
Oh,
not real alien talk.
So I haven't really.
It looks a little staged to me. You know, I mean, I have an open mind. I believe a lot of anything, but this picture, it doesn't really. Something doesn't.
Is it just the moon? Because when you talked about the moon landing, you also called you threw the bullshit flag on that one too.
Well, my bullshit call was I really don't know what I believe on it. I mean, like I said, you can make an argument for either way, that we totally went or we totally didn't go.
Yeah.
My question on that would be, why haven't we gone back? And I believe... I don't know, I'm still drawn on this topic. I've always been drawn on this.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason, if we went, why we didn't go back.
Or do we not publicize that we go back?
Or we're not made aware of us going back.
Yeah.
Do we? Oh my God!
So that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. This is the hibernating female alien.
I really don't know about this.
You guys let us know. Search. Go in Google Images and go to
Apollo 20 hoax came up.
Yeah.
First thing
a lot of people have discredited this and been a hoax. I mean, you never really know. I mean, it's the echo chamber. Say if we saw a real, maybe that's what a real alien looks like. It'd be unbelievable to us.
Do I believe aliens? Do I believe ancient societies that we haven't found out or are not being publicized to us? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's kind of. See, this is the problem. It's like, do government people or people in the higher, what we call a cabal or whatever, throw this shit up? Just to, or is it other complete idiots who think it's funny to do this?
It's like we said last week. Richard C. Hoagland has read a lot of books on the moon and what he claims was found there. He said a lot of disinformation was actually sent from the government that we never went to the moon. They wanted you to believe that because of what he says was found on the moon, which I mean, you can't really sum it up what he wrote in the entire book, what was found there, but many artifacts that definitely pointed to another sign of life on the moon. And to the government to bring that back, that would, discredit.
Yeah, discredit the own human race in the sense of its beliefs.
That we're not special, we're not unique.
Yeah, we're not special, we're not unique. We don't have a fucking mysterious spiritual or government official who's going to protect us when the shit hits the fan.
Right. He said that a lot of the artifacts, like not artifacts, but
the face
structures on Earth, like the pyramids, they have a corresponding location on the moon.
Oh,
The face almost had a similar, I can't remember exactly, but the positioning had a special relevance as far as, the coordinates and all that. There was a reason why this face was there, and the photographs that made it to Weekly World News, where it's blurred and those came from the government.
It just happens to be right next to the Bigfoot time travel machine article too.
To make it look, those were planted to make it look. He says the prime photographs that you see definitely clearly show a face. And now when you get it to the grocery tabloids and all that, Weekly World News, it's all blurred and it looks, out of focus.
Oh, yeah.
To make it look like you're foolish for believing that there's a face pyramid type structure on the moon,
Yeah, or to even come up with the concept maybe this is real. Maybe I should I don't know, read a book or read into this a little bit more and see if there's actually some legitimacy to this. No, it's just, you know, a bright bow with a joke is written on top of it, you know?
Speaking of books, we kind of asked this with Dustin. I don't think we've really gotten into it yet ourselves, but, like, what are some of the books you've read to kind of, like, get you in the real alien talk mind frame?
A lot of historical books, or religious books. Like, I've read the Bible, I've read, you know, the Dead Sea Scrolls books, Book of J. One of my favorite things where I'm constantly always picking up and reading it is the Dictionary of Religious and Cultural Beliefs. I'm just fascinated with them. Every day I'm just like, it's a huge dictionary and I'm always reading out of it, you know?
Look, like reading lost books of the Bible, that was kind of like a real eye-opening to me. I think I read this, I was probably like 9 or 10, and I kind of contrasted and compared like what was left in and what got left out.
Or what got left the interpretation.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And a lot of books, the lost books of the Bible collected, you know, many ideas in there kind of go against what the Christian ideology as we know it today is kind of about, you know. It kind of... you could see a reason why this was left out, you know, like the young life of Jesus, where he's this kid's like picking on him, making fun of him, and he kind of like strikes him dead, you know. That kind of goes against the idea of,
and he learns from that and stuff, you know, which you know,
like anyone, you know, you go through, you know, your life, you know, all of us are kind of like in our 30s, you know, we probably had times where we haven't done the best thing or whatever, you know, you kind of learn eventually, you know.
Well, we've
all made mistakes. And
you feel guilt, you feel horrible, and that's what a normal reaction if you do something bad. Well, man, I feel horrible or guilty or something like that.
So if Jesus was a real person, he would definitely have a peaks and valleys in his life.
I mean, whatever you want to believe, you know, if you believe in, that's what gets you going through your day. More power to you, you know. I think, did Jesus exist? Yeah, I think he existed. You know, was he a smart and creative man? Had something they wrote about him, you know, but you know, everything else I kind of like. It comes down to belief.
Right. Another book that I had, it wasn't really a book, but a web page that existed a long time ago. You can still access this on the web archive, and then you search. Gigi, what are you doing over there, man? Search the web archive. It's Boyd Rice. He's done like a lot of research on the Holy Grail. He dedicated his life this is probably 10 years of solid like research he did on the Holy Grail. You can still access this on web archive. And the Holy Grail, I mean, that's a story we're going to get back to here on our show here very soon.
Oh, the Holy Grail story?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. Like
people are dying for it, man. Like,
dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
We've hyped it up so much.
It's not even just talk, but there's actual historical links that explain why it would be there. You know, and like I tell everybody, it's not the cup that Jesus drinks from when he on the cross. Here's a sip before you die. No, I'm talking about the cup in which he drank from at the Last Supper. You know, which are supposed to be two. There's supposed to be the bigger one and the smaller one. And the bigger one's the one they dipped in wine and then poured it into the cup for them to drink from. That's the one I'm talking about.
Right.
But and
you almost found it.
Almost found it.
Amazing.
I really believe that we know where it's at, but when I find it, it's like I can't really take it or anything like that. You know, it's just there.
I mean, if you made a mad dash, like you probably could get pretty far before they caught up with you.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
If you had some Indiana Jones skills, it depends what traps they had set in this location. I mean, because probably they expect a lot of people to run out with it, so there'd probably be like some spears coming at you. Giant boulder behind you, something like that, you know.
Well, I mean, where it's at is people know where it's at, and people go there and like pray to it, and it's well known where it's at. It's not like super secret, but just society.
A worldwide open secret,
huh?
Well, a worldwide open secret. It's out there, but it's really not out there.
It's not really, and that's why I'm kind of surprised not a lot of church groups like even take quests there or go there and try to. Research it more than what it actually is, you know. So, but I'm hoping in March. Well, I'll be going back to overseas,
right?
In March.
So this is the Grail mission. You're gonna.
I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna be more upper, like northern Europe. So,
when did we say we were gonna record the Easter?
Easter.
Maybe we should do a live conference call on the Grail. Maybe you should call me from. I do use the phone. Yeah. You might have to text me or whatever. Like, if you found it, like send me a text, like all in caps, like I got the Grail, and I'll do a special show myself. Like, hey, Ben found the fucking Grail. Like he said he was going to.
He sent some pictures over with it.
So is this round 2? Like you're going to actually make? Who are you touring with?
The band Bear of Bad News.
Bear of Bad News. Yeah. Good band.
Yeah, they're nice guys. So it's their first time over there, and we'll take over. We'll do some shows, fill out.
Do they know the idea of the tour is actually to go find the Grail? The tour is like kind of the back.
As long as they're entertained and having fun, they don't really care what I do.
So if you just bring it on the bus, like they won't have a problem. Like,
probably not. They'll probably be amazed. Actually, yeah.
Would you drink from it?
I wouldn't. I don't know what I would do with it. If the action was like, honestly, if I found it, I had the opportunity just to like grab it and run, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't?
I would just leave it to where it's supposed to be. Cause it's obviously.
I gotta be honest. I think I would. I want to like have it in a museum, like people could see it.
Well,
it's like Indiana Jones.
It already is in a place where people can see it and stuff. There's people choosing not to see it.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe if you do the research on any of these topics we talk about, maybe it's there. If you choose to find it, you just have to put in the time to, seek the knowledge on any of the stuff we talk about.
Yeah.
You ever fucked around with a Ouija board, man?
I'm not really.
How'd you like that segue?
I'm not really too much into it, man. Like, I really think it's funny that they're kind of like meant and sold in like kids' toy stores.
And you kind of like, from that perception, you kind of think, well, I mean, it can't be real. But if it's sold in a store, it can't summon demons. Right.
Well, I mean,
just because it's sold in a store doesn't mean the intention of the gateway is not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's also been around for centuries.
Right.
And it's like, is it an old school toy that's been passed on for centuries, or is it like actually a legitimate like?
And the method, even before it was a toy, I mean, it's a divination method where if you try to access these realms, I mean, they will be real, whether it's a toy or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
People made their own types of Ouija boards. Like Aleister Crowley did a lot of shit like this, like way before it was manufactured by Parker Brothers as a toy.
Yeah.
Which, just hearing that it's a toy, you think it's not real and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
What about the phenomenon of the Zozo that's said to be like a demon?
Yeah, well, they don't. What I've heard before,
by ZOZO, if you want to search that on Google.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, it's kind of an argument like, is it a demon or is it just? I've heard it's more like an ancient entity.
Mm-hmm.
And, because what's so weird about it, it's connected to the Ouija board, but also you keep seeing it constantly popped up through different cultures throughout the world, different time periods. I mean, we're talking like even in Greek time period, they spoke of an entity called Zozo, which was just basically like a very old ancient entity / demon, or maybe it was one of those first energy types around when the whole Earth was being created or whatever,
So, as it relates to the Ouija board, like, what is it? Is it a natural human condition to search those letters on the Ouija board? The ZO. This is how a lot of people say it gets access. The first entity, usually most times, to talk to you, so to speak, on the Ouija board happens to be the ZOZO is where the.
Well, I've heard it's a real kind of evil entity. Like, I've heard many people like getting raped by this, like being possessed, almost committing murder, actually committing murder. But I've heard it's a very like ancient entity, but it messes with you very like sexually.
Right.
Like I've read that a lot out of it.
A lot of people say it gets attached to them like a parasitic demon. Like,
you just got to be cleansed with the sage and all that.
Right. The letters themselves, the ZOZO, obviously backwards, one half of that is Oz. Aleister Crowley, again, this is someone you can really research. I think if you're into like magic and occult, he's the like one of the people that really centered a lot of ideas and collected them all together. In his age, he was kind of the first person to really do this. He put a lot of. It's too long to like kind of paraphrase here, but he researched a lot into Oz, the word OZ, and the magical qualities of Oz. A lot of people say Wizard of Oz was kind of, in a way, from the work he created. You know,
Yeah.
OZ, whichever way you flip it, ZO, OZ, it certainly has magical qualities to it. You never summoned Zozo, did you?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of?
Nah. I mean, I never really mess with Ouija boards because
it's kind of a good idea.
I don't know.
If you listen to Coast and anyone asks George Norrie about him, he kind of swears them off. He says, "Don't fuck with it."
Yeah.
That's the one time he'll kind of take an opinion. He a lot of times people call him like the most outlandish things, and he'll just kind of like agree, like, "Yeah, that's fascinating."
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if you ask him about the Ouija board, he says, "No, don't fuck with it at all.
Don't mess with it."
Don't mess
like,
with
so
it."
I'm surprised.
Probably good advice, I believe.
I mean, people worrying about their like kids, and I don't know if I want them to have this toy. Is it wrong or blah blah blah? Oh,
It
here's
really
a
is.
Ouija board, man.
Yeah, it really is an open doorway. Like,
It's here to contact the dead. Here you go.
Yeah. Would you invite anyone to your house that, you know, would you leave the door completely open to your house that...
Yeah, because that's the thing.
I don't think I would.
A lot of people say like they when you use them, you open the gate, but then a lot of people don't know how to like close.
Right.
So you just leave them like open.
Yeah. So another entity can come through. Maybe an entity that's like portraying to be something else. Maybe if you say you want to talk to your dead grandmother or whatever, and you know, perhaps Zozo was taking the appearance of your grandmother. I mean, you really don't know who you're talking to. It's like answering the phone and it's like, hello? First of all, I don't answer the phone at all. So if you call me, you can text me all day. That's cool.
What's the age limit on that game that they had?
What game?
The Ouija board. What's it say for the age
Oh,
limit?
there's no age limit. Well, I mean, they might give you one.
Yeah.
They might say like ages 6 to... But, you know, obviously kids. And even now with, I guess, there was a popular movie. This shows how out of touch I am. Just last year, a Ouija. And it's kind of like... if you walk into the mall or Hot Topic, like there's like Ouija board belts.
Oh, yeah.
Ouija board hoodie. So it's kind of like taking a renaissance in modern culture. Like, it's really popular. I guess this movie like made like...
What's the movie?
A Ouija.
Oh, I never even saw it.
Yeah. I mean, it is very popular. That shows how both out of touch.
That's what I'm saying. I had no idea.
Yeah. I only knew it because I got curious. I'm like, why is like all this Ouija board stuff like really popular now? So I looked it up, and I was like, 2014 Ouija board movie.
Then you got to wonder once again: is there some type of secret meaning on why that's being pushed? Because sometimes, a lot of times, I believe that's what gets pushed into pop culture. Sometimes is sometimes what they want the people to kind of know of.
Right.
You know.
Gary Spencer joined us here in the studio. You got any weird shit happen to you recently?
Weird shit?
Yeah.
Tell
us about it, man.
I don't know if I have anything of a cosmic alien level, but I did pick the Marvin the Martian coffee cup out of Chad's cupboard just now.
Tremendous.
Marvin the Martian. Marvin's mission: to blow the Earth to smithereens. Marvin's reason: it blocks his view of Venus. Oh, wait a minute, I do have something actually to contribute. I overheard walking by here, you're talking about Ouija boards, and
yes.
Have you ever used a Ouija board?
no, I've never used a Ouija board, but a funny thing came up at work the other day. I work in the e-commerce division at Goodwill Easter Seals, Miami Valley, and basically the way it works there is when stores get donated items that are considered high value, they do give them to us, and we auction.
So, like, what would be would someone donate like a new computer system? Like
Every once in a while, but that's
Really?
not our department. We
Clean
don't deal with
socks.
Clean socks. But every once in a while, we get some weird shit in there. And actually, last week, you were talking about Ouija boards. We got donated a pink Ouija board. I've never seen one before, and I was like, just thinking to myself, I'm like, so if you use this Ouija board, you summon demons. Are they cute little baby demons? They come up with their
that appearance to get your trust, and
maybe a demonic My Little Pony shows up. Or
So
something.
they said clean it. Did you have like a little ceremony, or did you?
No, I just photographed it and put it online, which is what I do with all my shit.
just dusted it off.
Yeah, we don't get too much weird stuff in there. It's mostly like old ladies die and their families donate like these antique porcelain dolls. They're like really creepy. They're way scarier than anything that come out of a
Have you ever got any? How would you say? Like maybe a magical artifact, or maybe something you would perceive as.
Have you ever got anything with blood on it?
No, I've never. At least I've never had anything. Although I know one time somebody donated just like a whole bunch of a bag full of jawbones. I don't know what animals they came from, but
What?
yeah, it was really. I think it was like a shark or something like that. But like,
What the fuck?
hey, it's sold, so I'm like, hey, whatever, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No, man. Hey, Ben, you told me this one story one time. You did mushrooms with salt and pepper?
No, but that is a really good story. Though.
You did mushrooms with salt and pepper?
No, that is a real good story though.
No, those are two separate stories. Which one?
stories.
The mushroom experience
We're hanging out
or
with
salt and pepper? Give us the salt and pepper.
The salt and
first.
pepper.
So we can
Okay.
we talk serious and then we kind of peak and valley, real serious talk, and then we'll talk about something fucking totally stupid.
So
let's hear salt and pepper.
So fucking how this all started? Like we were talking about salt and pepper because on my Facebook page I was sort of putting one of my buddies who wrestles was like said about salt and pepper in WrestleMania. And I was like, I posted on. I was like, yeah, I hung out with salt and pepper. I forgot all about that.
By the way, they managed Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah,
During WrestleMania. Then
Now, does he play football or
shit.
basketball?
no, he plays football for
forgot
the
all about
Giants.
For the Giants. Okay.
Yeah.
Does he still play?
No, he's been retired for a while.
Well, I liked him better as a wrestler. I didn't really like his football. I never saw his football.
Who did LT wrestle at that
Bam
point?
Bam Bigelow.
Oh, it was Bam. I thought so. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Right.
So
Salt and Pepper managed LT to the victory over Bam Bam.
yeah, during his
And
during his cocaine period.
His cocaine period.
Yeah,
He was kind of high on the.
he was definitely trained for Olympics.
I think he had an earring that was a lightning bolt.
No, he did. That was his big thing, was a lightning bolt and shit.
So anyway, Salt and Pepper from the wrestling world to your world.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you
So we're doing like this event in New York, and we used to go to like I was telling you earlier, like one of the weirdest things I went to was the fucking New York fucking Fashion Week shit.
Yeah.
The big. Fashion
Okay.
Week.
How did you get there? Like, what was?
Oh, I had friends with the New York Post. I knew a bunch of people higher up in the New York Post. They were just
Okay.
like, "Hey, you want to hang out with us?" So I'd be like, "Yeah, okay. Where we going tonight?" And they'd be like, "Let's go do this." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Keep in mind, when I knew all these friends, I could get into like weird TV shows and stuff like that, and I kept trying to get them to get me tickets to Judge Judy.
Oh, tremendous.
And now Judge Judy's like the hot fucking
Tremendous.
ticket. You cannot get it.
You really
I tried.
Judy is sold out. Like,
Dude, I
every time you go to
tried
Judy?
so much to get a ticket. And
Did you
it
ever
was
like try to see Jerry Springer or something like that?
No, because it's just that's just too white trash. You know,
Too white trash.
At least Judge Judy has white trash on her shirt, and she's like, "Shut the fuck
I'll
up."
chime in. I can say I know for a fact that Ben Michael Parker is a Judge Judy mark.
Is that right?
Songs, books by this
Dude,
woman.
really, my favorite book by her is "Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining."
Bro, okay, she's on.
But that time,
Yeah.
dude, I'm gonna look that up.
She's on 4 or 5 times a day. How many times a day? Do you
Oh, I
watch
only get to
the
watch
show?
like maybe once.
Oh, once. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
something
5
you are.
5 days out of the week you're watching Judge
like I said,
Judy.
over any celebrity out there, any fucking celebrity.
You can meet. You want to meet Judge
Judge
more than
Judy.
anybody.
I want to meet Judge Judy.
Now,
Wow.
you remember her husband for a while had his own show.
Yeah.
And he just didn't. People
Did
didn't
bomb.
respond to him.
Yeah, the People's Court. He didn't do that well.
Yeah.
Whose
Like-
show?
So what is
He was
about
a
Judge
judge
Judy?
on People's Court.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're,
All gray. hair,
Yeah.
dude. I think Judge Judy just made his hair turn.
Mm.
gray. She's just-
Dude, but she was
They kind of look like a brother and sister.
I gotta be
a little
honest, man.
bit.
She annoys the hell out of
She
me.
was
I
a-
can't stand Judge Judy.
But she was a family court judge in Brooklyn, New York for over 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah, family court judge in Brooklyn, New York. So she heard some fucking shit.
No wonder she's such a bitch.
Exactly. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
The
dude.
fucking
Yeah,
complete
I've lived
idiot
in
you gotta deal
Brooklyn,
with.
and it's a little rough there. So I imagine
Yeah.
there's some crazy cases.
And this was like in the 80s.
Oh yeah, that was before I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn for 4 years, and I remember when I first moved there, Williamsburg was still kind of a taboo neighborhood.
No, it was like the big drug
And-
neighborhood.
And now when I go back there, it's like all gentrified. It's almost like Disney World.
Right,
It's so strange. Brooklyn's been so gentrified. It's like kind of. It's not the same. I'll leave it at that.
My friend Genesis actually collected like all the old sex signs from the
Genesis
like,
Peorage?
Yeah, all the what's the seedy part of New York or used to be.
There's
Well, that's like that-
all the
Yeah,
live like
there's
peep
Red
show
Book.
signs like
They
they
used to
were
be the-
throwing these out when
They
they
used to
tried
be
to
the
like
Village in like Manhattan, but
Yeah.
as soon as Disney bought all of basically Broadway and Manhattan, then
when they tried to make this
everything.
area a lot more family friendly, I guess you'd say. They
The-
got
the
rid of
whole
all
New
the
York-
peep shows,
yeah,
all
this
the
past
triple
decade.
X signs.
Yeah, you have to go out to Queens to find like the really shady strip clubs. These
Right,
days.
right. What were did we ever finish the salt? and
No.
pepper? No, we didn't. Okay, so take me there. You're at this party. They
Well,
say, hey,
Yeah, we're showing up.
Salt and
and
Pepper says, hey, come hang out with us.
No, I
That's
just
not how
it was
it
just by accident. Like we're all going to like the showing of the movie, but first we're going to go to like this meet and greet where they have like you sit down at this table, and the guy gives this like little speech how the great the movie is, and this is the Chris Rock movie Hair.
Uh-huh.
That was about African American hair and how
I
much it
saw that.
costs.
It was actually good.
And all
Yeah,
this
it was a good
weird
documentary.
shit.
So there's a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go to this.
It's called Good Hair.
I go to this thing
Good Hair.
with
Good hair, yeah.
my friend, and next thing I know, we're like, okay, you guys are next to go in the elevator, go up to your table, and they're sending people into the elevator together. They're all sitting together at the tables and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So they send me and my buddy into the fucking elevator, and it's fucking Salt and Pepper and Spinderella.
Bro, let me tell you.
Spinderella.
Spinderella. Like my first crush ever.
Really?
Spinderella, whoa!
What was
Man.
Was it the high top fade that got
I think
you?
it was.
Or was that one of the other girls?
I don't know. She changed
I don't
her
know.
hair over the years, and like I thought she was hot every time. Like, it wasn't really the hair, just Spinderella.
I actually
The
have
rest of them, salt and pepper, just whatever.
I have a chance
The
meeting
Spinderella.
celebrity story, kind of similar to Ben's, where I was in Las Vegas on Thanksgiving weekend, and we go to the Playboy party where Kim Kardashian is. I don't know why we thought that was a good idea, but anyway, we get in the elevator, and the guy who gets out of the elevator is a big black dude, and it was Suge Knight. And me and my girlfriend were like, whoa, Suge Knight just walked by us. That was just the most random ass thing ever, but yeah.
Suge Knight in the news recently just killed a man.
Yeah.
He was on
Breaking
Battlestar
news.
Galactica.
Was he really?
Yeah, the actor that he killed was on Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, I thought you meant Suge Knight was on Battlestar Galactica.
What,
How did that happen?
What did the guy play that got killed?
Oh,
Was he Cylon, like, number 3?
his
Or...
character.
I didn't see the new Battlestar Galactica, did you?
No.
I mean, my memories were the old Cylons with the red.
What, the one from the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, the newer one that's like on sci-fi, I've never seen it.
What are we watching here on the network?
I'm trying to... It's on the tip of my tongue.
So are we about done with time? Is time about up here?
3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, the salt and pepper.
Yeah, we got in the elevator.
Pepper,
Went to
not pepper.
we'll just save the story for another time.
All right, man. All right. Real Alien Talk wrapping up. SG1, Ben Parker, out.